What is up, internet? Kevin Gannett here. Today I'm giving you guys a part 2 to the last video I made, which was my iPhone 12 battery is horrible. I want to show you guys a couple things that I've done, a couple screenshots, give you my evaluation on the past few days since then, and yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I want to tell you guys about is if you go in the description, you guys are going to see a note that I took. It's a log for my whole day with the iPhone 12 Pro. This was one day after making that video. After I made that video, I went to Reddit. I asked another few people. You can find the link to that thread in the description. I was asking if anybody else was having iPhone 12 Pro battery problems because I feel like my phone shouldn't have been acting the way it did. For example, pretend this is a cell phone because I'm using my phone to record. Imagine you see your screen light up. You got a comment on one of your pictures on Instagram. So you pick up your phone, you go to reply to the comment, "Thanks for such nice words," and you put the phone down. That would be like a 10-20 second engagement with your phone. Imagine losing 1% every time you did that. That's what was kind of happening to me. Even at a 0.5% of battery every time you did that, if you do that 4 or 5 times, you're losing 2, 3, 4% for really no reason. I made a list. I noted everything I did on the iPhone. I was writing most of the notes on my MacBook Pro. A couple of lines of text, I had to use the phone because I wasn't at home. Most of it was done, I would say about 80% of the notes were taking on the computer, and that's my whole day. After I made that video complaining about the battery life, saying how I want to maybe go get a Pixel 5 or some other Android phone, right now the Galaxy S20 is on sale for $799, which is basically what I sold. I sold my iPhone 11 Pro for $800. So, I mean, it's like you did an even trade, but for a brand new phone. I mean, how are you going to beat that if I wanted to go the Samsung route? Because the Samsung allows you to do 4K 60, 4K front-facing camera, which the Pixel doesn't. But anyways, after I made that video, after I made the thread on Reddit, the very next day, I deleted the Watch app off of my phone. I installed Among Us when a few of my cousins were over to my house. We wanted to play Among Us. They was telling me about it. I installed it, and then we got sidetracked, and I never opened the app. So I uninstalled that as well. And I deleted all my pictures off of my phone. I mean, I backed them up with Google Photos, then deleted the files off of my phone. Disclaimer, I guess, I have iCloud turned off. I don't back up pictures. I don't back up anything. I have 5G turned off. I have Google Photos backup turned off. I only turn it on the 1st of every month. So I get a clean slate for that month of new pictures. And then after it's done backing up all the pictures, I go into the Google Photo settings and turn it off. Nothing's really backing up in the background besides just your push notifications from Instagram, iMessage. You get the idea. I went from one of the worst days of battery life I ever experienced on any smartphone to the next day being one of the greatest battery lives I ever experienced on a smartphone. It's unreal. It's crazy. For example, I'm looking at the notes on my computer that I took. I took the phone off the charger at 12:23 p.m., right? Now, I made sure that I didn't charge the phone all night. That's something I'm trying not to do anymore. I don't know if that's affecting the battery life. Probably not, but the phone charges so fast that I don't need to charge it all night anyways. I woke up at like 9 a.m. The phone had 60% or something like that. I let it charge to 100, and I took the phone off the charger. I took the phone off the charger at 12:23. I watched an 8-minute and 30-second YouTube video at 1080p. I usually go for 1440p, but 1080p was the highest resolution available for this video that I was watching. Went on Instagram and it showed that I was all caught up. Put the phone down. Stop using it. I wanted to also see how the standby time was doing because having a phone just sit on your drawer, losing battery is not a fun thing. Not at all. So after I did that, now remember that was 12:23 p.m. At 1:30 p.m., I checked a few notifications that were on my lock screen. I swiped down the battery icon to see how much battery I have left, and I still had 100%. So this is a little over an hour off the charger after watching an 8-minute and 30-second YouTube video and checking out Instagram. Okay, had a 1-minute phone call, it says on my notes. Probably didn't touch the phone that much because I would have wrote it down. At 2:27 p.m. I had 99%. So obviously something changed, something happened here. Now, I didn't factory reset the phone. There was no software update. I just went the next day and went from some of the worst battery life I ever seen to some of the best battery life I ever seen. It doesn't make sense. There's something wrong here. I'm gonna skip to the end of my notes to like a major point that I want to make with you guys, but you guys can read it all. It's in the description. You guys can read the whole day that I had that I wanted to test out the battery. Another key point, for example, is by 4:30 I still had 93%. So that's 4 hours after taking it off the charger and using it a little bit. 93% left. At 7:18 p.m. I just got done watching a 12-minute YouTube video. I assume at 1080p. I didn't write that down for some reason, but I had 85% battery left. This doesn't make any sense for me. I'm honestly in shock. I wanted to say flabbergasted, but I don't know if that's appropriate word to use. I don't know if I've got the correct meaning in my head of what that word should be used for. 10:06 p.m. I had 65%. That's unheard of. That is some ridiculous battery readings. Now, could it be that the phone was just showing me a different percentage than it really had? Yeah, it could be software tricks. I remember reading somewhere that there's a thing called battery anxiety, where they'll leave the phone at a higher percent longer so you don't get anxiety because the phone's dropping battery percent so fast, even though that's normal. At 11:50 p.m., 10 minutes from midnight, 40 minutes, around 40 minutes away from being off the charger for 12 full hours, and I had 59%. That is ridiculous. I don't understand what happened here. Something I didn't write down in the notes. The next day, I woke up, used the phone in the morning, checked some notifications, checked some emails, things like that. And at 12:30 the next day, I had 40%. I only used 60% battery in 24 hours. I don't know how that's possible. After the first day or so, after the first week, what am I saying? The first week of having this iPhone, it was bad. That looks a lot better. It was bad. And just one day out of the 8-9 days that I had it so far, one day the phone decided, you know what, he's complaining on me, let me show him how good I could be. So now that was one day. 2 days after that, I'm right back at getting like weird mixed battery life. Now, I haven't installed any games. The Among Us I took off. I only have 8-Ball Pool, and I don't even play it that much. I usually play it like if I'm in the car waiting for Lena in the supermarket while she's getting food, but I haven't done that in a little while. The iPhone 12 Pro that I have, somehow, some way, it has the best battery life ever, but it also has the worst battery life ever. I'm hoping, I'm praying that they release a software update to fix whatever's wrong with my phone, to fix it and optimize it, to fix whatever problem is going on, that I can have that great battery life on a day-to-day basis. I was bringing, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you don't, you should. I was bringing a charging block and the lightning cable with me wherever I went, out of fear that the phone was gonna die out on me midday. I've had days with this phone where it died out at 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. How could a phone die out at 3 p.m. one day and then last 24 hours on 60% a few days later? And it's not like I'm changing anything drastic. You see, if the day that it died out at 3 p.m., I was doing 4K HDR Dolby Vision video all day until it died out, and then the day that it lasted great and didn't die out on me till the next day, 24 hours later, it still had 40%. And if I was just like tweeting or just looking at a blank wallpaper that the screen is off or something, it would have made sense. But I use the phones every day pretty much identically. I go on Instagram, I go on YouTube, I wrote down a note or two for something I might have to do that day. I'll set a calendar reminder, I'll set a bill reminder, I'll check my bills, I'll check if I owe money on anything that I gotta pay off. I can't figure out what changed. Could it be deleting the Watch app and Among Us fixed the battery life? I don't know. Because after those 2 great days of battery life, I haven't seen that kind of battery life again. I haven't installed Among Us anymore or the Watch app. I don't have an Apple Watch, so I don't need the Watch app. Today is November 1st. I still have another 5 days to return this phone. I'm hoping that Apple does something, pushes a secret silent update that you don't even have an option. The phone just does it while you sleep. I hope something happens with this phone that fixes the battery life, because I want to keep this phone. I really love this phone. The iPhone 4 was my favorite smartphone of all time. This has the opportunity to beat it, but only if the battery life could fix. If I had that battery life for that one day, every day that I had this phone, it wouldn't even be a question. I already sold my iPhone 11 Pro. I got top dollar for it. I got $800 for it. $200. I would, if you told me, hey man, trade in your iPhone 11 Pro and put $200 on top and you'll get a new iPhone with the best battery life you'll ever have in your life. That alone is worth an extra $200, in my opinion anyways. So yeah, iPhone 12 Pro. The phone of mysterious battery life. Make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna have at least one more update video, and that update video might be with a review of the iPhone 12 Pro, or it might be a separate video and I might have the review as a separate video. But whatever the case, subscribe so you don't miss any iPhone 12 Pro content. I'm Kevin Ganitz. Peace out, guys. Stay safe. Catch you guys in the next video. God bless.